Buckle up because Formula One is changing the game in ways you have never seen before. We are diving straight into the massive move from seven-time champion Lewis Hamilton as he takes his passion for collecting to a whole new level. Hamilton is officially launching a global chain of trading card shops called Card Culture, partnering with Dave and Adam's Card World to create a home for collectors in Australia, the UK, and beyond. This is not just a side hustle for the legend. It is a full-scale mission to bring the thrill of the hunt to the rest of the world.
Tired of dropping your phone or struggling to prop it up? Meet the Pop Sockets phone grip with expanding kickstand in black, your new must-have accessory. Don't miss out. Grab yours today. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
The drama in the paddock is reaching an all-time high as the tension between the sport's biggest names spills into the headlines. Mercedes driver George Russell has broken his silence on the future of Max Verstappen, admitting that, while he wants the four-time champion to stay on the grid, he would completely understand if Max decided to walk away. Verstappen has been incredibly vocal about his frustration with the 2026 car regulations, fueling speculation that we might be seeing his final season in the sport. It is a rivalry that is shaking up the standings and redefining the future of Mercedes. George Russell is currently trailing his teammate Kimi Antonelli in the championship, but the British star is staying laser-focused on his long-term goal of securing that world title. Meanwhile, the young Italian sensation Kimi Antonelli is riding a massive wave of momentum after clinching 2 wins in the opening 3 races, proving that the future of Formula One has arrived sooner than anyone expected. Finally, we are looking back at one of the most controversial moments in racing history as the debate over the 2021 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix refuses to fade away. Former race director Niels Wittich has stepped up to defend the decision-making of Michael Masi, arguing that Masi was simply following the mandate to ensure a green flag finish under immense pressure. It is a fascinating look at the politics of the FIA and the weight of being in the director's chair. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you never miss another update. What do a 7-time F1 world champion and a stack of rare Pokémon cards have in common? Well, if you are Lewis Hamilton, the answer is a massive new business venture that is about to change how the rest of the world collects. Forget the track for a moment, because Hamilton is officially moving into the trading card game in a huge way. He is teaming up with retail giant Dave and Adam's Card World to launch Card Culture, a global chain of card shops designed to bring that authentic, tactile thrill of ripping packs to fans outside of North America. It is a bold move, considering there are over 1,000 stores in the U.S. alone, but almost nothing by comparison across the rest of the globe. Hamilton is looking to change that, starting with Germany in 2026 with plans to expand into the UK, Australia, and Asia. It is fascinating to see this pivot, especially when you consider that NFL legend Tom Brady already blazed this trail with his card vault stores. But this isn't just another celebrity stamping their name on a brand for a quick check. If you listen to Adam Martin, the CEO of Dave and Adams, he'll tell you that Lewis is the real deal. A guy who spends his downtime hunting down rare Japanese Pokémon cards and geeking out over Star Wars lore with George Lucas. He is genuinely obsessed with the hobby. From building Lego Millennium Falcons to hunting for that elusive Mickey mantle, Hamilton is treating this as a true passion project, not just a boardroom investment. He is building a home for the community, and honestly, if anyone can make collecting cool on a global scale, it is probably the guy who spent the last decade mastering the art of the podium. So, are you planning to visit one of these shops once they open, or are you strictly a digital collector? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to hit subscribe for more updates on the intersection of sports, culture, and the collectibles market. After all, life is too short to leave your best cards in a shoebox. Sometimes you just have to get out there and build a legacy. Could the greatest driver of our generation be walking away from Formula One for good? Max Verstappen has been making headlines, not just for his performance, but for his blunt, unfiltered frustration with the 2026 car regulations. And now, his old rival George Russell is weighing in with a perspective that might just surprise you. It's no secret that Verstappen has been the loudest voice in the room criticizing the new reliance on electrical power, even hinting that this season could be his swan song. But George Russell, currently locked in a fierce title battle, isn't calling for Max to quiet down. Instead, he's offering a level of empathy that's rare in the cutthroat world of the paddock. Russell admitted that if he had 4 world championships in his pocket like Max, he'd probably be looking for new horizons too. It's a fascinating insight into the life of a champion. Sometimes, you've simply climbed the mountain, and there's nothing left to prove. Russell argues that Max's vocal frustration is largely tied to Red Bull's current struggle for pace, noting that the cars at the front of the grid face a totally different set of challenges than the ones chasing from behind. But it's not just about what's happening in the cockpit, it's about the future of the sport. Russell revealed that the drivers and the FIA are finally communicating on a level we haven't seen in years, working toward a future where we get that raw, flat-out racing feel back. Meanwhile, the spotlight is burning bright on young sensation Kimi Antonelli. With 2 wins already under his belt, the 19-year-old is the new face of momentum, yet he remains remarkably grounded, focusing on the process rather than the rising expectations. It's a changing of the guard, a clash of philosophies, and a high-stakes drama that's just getting started. If you love the tactical mind games of F1 as much as the racing itself, hit that subscribe button and let me know in the comments. If you were in Max's shoes, would you stay to fight or walk away to start a new chapter? Thanks for watching, and keep your eyes on the track. Could we really be witnessing the final chapters of Max Verstappen's Formula One career? It sounds like a fever dream, but the 4-time world champion has been vocal about his frustration with the sport's new technical direction, and frankly, some of his peers are starting to listen. George Russell, no stranger to a tense rivalry with Max, recently dropped a bombshell. He'd actually understand if Verstappen walked away. At the heart of the friction is the new power unit era. We're talking about a 50-50 split between internal combustion and electric power, which has turned racing into an exercise in energy management rather than pure, flat-out aggression. Verstappen is tired of lift and coast tactics and the weird, artificial speed differentials caused by battery modes. It's not the raw, sensory experience he signed up for. Russell makes a brilliant point, though it's easy to complain when you aren't winning. He reminds us that when Mercedes was suffering through the porpoising nightmare of 2022, Max was winning, so the car's flaws were easily ignored. Now that the tables have turned, the frustration has become much more visible. But there's a deeper, human element here. Max has checked every box in F1. When you've conquered the summit 4 times, the pursuit of simple enjoyment takes over. That's why he's eyeing the Nürburgring Nordschleife, a track so dangerous it's practically forbidden for modern F1. It's about the soul of driving, not just the stats. Russell admits he'd be doing the exact same thing if he were in Max's shoes. However, it's not all doom and gloom. As a director of the GPDA, Russell is actively pushing for rule changes that could save the racing experience. By tweaking battery recharge limits and fixing superclipping issues, the FIA could remove the need for so much left-hand coast driving. There's a path forward that keeps the cars fast and the drivers happy. As for Russell himself, he's locked in a tight battle with his teammate Kimi Antonelli, keeping his eyes on the long game of championship consistency. What do you think? Is Max just venting because the car isn't up to snuff? Or is F1 genuinely losing its appeal to its greatest star? Sound off in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the paddock drama, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss our next breakdown. Let's see if these rule tweaks can keep the grid's biggest name from heading for the exit. 3 years later, and the ghost of Abu Dhabi 2021 is still haunting the paddock. We all remember it. The crash, the confusion, and the final lap shootout that changed history. But now, former F1 race director Niels Wittich is breaking the silence, and his defense of Michael Masi might just shock you. For the uninitiated, Masi's decision to restart the race with only 1 lap to go, effectively handing Max Verstappen the title over a heartbroken Lewis Hamilton, was slammed as a direct violation of the rules. But Wittich, who stepped into the role afterward, argues that Masi wasn't just winging it. He insists that the FIA, the teams, and the powers that be had all been pushing for the same thing: no more races ending behind a safety car. Think about it. The pressure was astronomical. Wittich points out that Masi had a certain level of discretion, and he used it to ensure a green flag finish, which was the ultimate goal set out in those pre-season meetings. He claims that whether you look at it as a tactical masterstroke or a massive blunder, It was done within the spirit of the sport's push for high-octane drama. But here's the kicker. The real tragedy, according to Wittich, wasn't the decision itself, it was the fallout. He describes the aftermath as a total abandonment of leadership. Masi was essentially left to the wolves, facing death threats and a tidal wave of abuse, while the FIA looked for a scapegoat to wipe their hands clean. Wittich even links this lack of support to his own departure, suggesting that when things get messy, the higher-ups are nowhere to be found. It's a sobering look at the politics behind the visor. Is a title decided in a boardroom or on the track? Was Masi the fall guy for a flawed system, or did he simply overstep the line? Drop a comment below and let me know if you think the FIA owed him more support, or if his decision ruined the integrity of the 2021 championship. Don't forget to hit subscribe for more deep dives into F1's biggest controversies, because in this sport, the finish line is rarely the end of the story.